So I could have done this outside, but it's super hot outside, so I decided to not to. Today I'm going to be making Scar Wax. At least we're trying something different here. Basically what Scar Wax is a really malleable wax that you can use to put on your body and make it look like you have cuts or like malformations or whatever. It's really cool. I need some, I want some. I don't want to pay like $20 for some, so we're going to try making it myself. I have beeswax here. This is from our beehives. And I have vegetable oil. I'm using that because I don't know what other oil to use. So we're going to try this. Basically, I'm going to just put my beeswax into that cup, melt it down a little bit, add just a little bit of this vegetable oil. I think I'll probably use maybe like 1/4 of a teaspoon of oil. Like no more than that, I'm sure. And then we'll see how it turns out. So I microwaved this for like 2 minutes, and it got to a point where the plastic it's being microwaved in, which you shouldn't microwave the plastic, but I did. It got to a point where the plastic was melting more than the beeswax, but it's now hot, and if I pick it up, maybe, you can see that it's very, you know, you can mold it, which is what we want, but we want it to be like this when it's cool. So now is where I'm going to start kneading in the vegetable oil, which I think I'm gonna have to do by hand, so this is gonna be super exciting and super fun. I love my hands being oily. So I just added 1 drop of oil, and I think I've already made a mistake because I can't really knead it. Oh my gosh, it's starting to come apart. So I'm just gonna knead this off camera so I can really get my hands in there. And then I'll show you what it's like when it's done. Hopefully it'll work out. Okay, I finally finished mixing up that Scar Wax, so I'm gonna pull it out. As you can see, goodbye. It's very malleable, and honestly, it's borderline. Well, no, it is sticky, but that's fine because I feel like it needs to be, and also the Scar Wax I worked with in the past has also been sticky. I used about 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe almost 2/4 of a teaspoon. It's like a 1/2 teaspoon of vegetable oil in order to get it to this consistency, which I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like you could probably use this pretty good. I would also use like spirit gum or liquid latex underneath it if you're going to work with it, just in case. It is pretty sticky, but it may not be sticky enough. The real question is when we compare it to my unopened brand new pack of Scar Wax. Now I haven't opened this yet, and I've had it for a few years, so I guess I'm opening it to test if this beeswax method will work for me, because it is important for me to know. So I'm gonna go get a little spatula or something and get some out of there. Okay, let's compare. So this is the Scar Wax from my product, like store-bought, and it feels the same. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just a little bit sticky, and it's pretty much just as malleable. I could maybe see where mine rips a little bit when I do stuff like that, where this is very smooth, mine will like rip. And that could just be the way I mixed it. And then obviously color, and you could just fix the color, no bigs, with like some food dye or something. I'm gonna put that right here. And then here is my homemade stuff. So you can see like the difference when I go and try and smooth it out. It kind of rips apart a little bit more. And I could see that being a little bit troublesome if you're trying to do a look, just because you'll have to account for that as you're making your look do what you want it to, but the consistency is the same. Like, it's spot on. It's pretty neat. So if I could figure out how to make it just a little bit smoother, and it could just be that I need to add a little bit more oil, so I might go try that and come back and tell you if it did any better with some extra oil. But you can make scar wax out of beeswax and just a little bit of oil, so that's really cool, because that, if you're broke like me, that's a good alternative. It's been a couple days since I last updated this video, but this is the new and improved wax. I went in and I just added a ton more oil to it. I mean, not like a ton. You know, maybe I added 1/4 of a teaspoon, you know, but I think it spreads a lot easier now. Like, if you look, when I do that, see how it doesn't crack near as much? It's much closer to the consistency of my store-bought wax. So I think the solution is, if it cracks a little bit when you're spreading it, it means that you don't have enough oil in it. So yeah, after a little bit of testing and whatnot, I'll put like my recipe down in the description, but basically just know that what you're doing is you're taking oil and you're just adding it to the wax until it becomes the right consistency. So you just add a little bit at a time, and if it's not quite right, then add a little bit more. You know, there's a really, like, you're not gonna add too much oil if you're doing it in little increments, which you kind of have to do in order for it to mix together well. But yeah, so this is how you make scar wax out of beeswax and just oil. Yeah, so I hope this helps any of you who are gonna do some spooky looks for Halloween. You know, I love using scar wax for stuff. It's one of the first Gore products that I used when I was learning, so it, you know, it holds a special place in my heart. But yeah, so hopefully this is a much cheaper alternative. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.